Hey guys, it's Tinker Tailor here today, bringing you back another Pokemon build series video. Today we have Eevee, who is a normal type Pokemon, and also I just realized or just found out that it is 87.5% male and 15.5% female. Is that right? No, 12.5, sorry. 12.5% female, which is interesting. I didn't know that. Quite a lot of the Pokemon are either 50-50 or they are just one. So the fact that, yeah, it's 87% male, 12.5 female, it's interesting. And this Pokemon, if you don't know about it, it's a pretty well popular known Pokemon. But yeah, if you don't know about it, it is a very adorable Pokemon. It kind of looks like a mixture between like a dog and a fox. So it's got a little dog body, I guess, a very big bushy tail. It looks like it's wearing like a fur, you know, it's not a coat, but like the scarf, like the fur scarf, it kind of looks like it's wearing one of those. And it's got pointy little rabbit ears, and it's just very sweet and adorable, and it is a lot, like all the colours are brown and tan, sort of cream colours. And this Pokemon can actually evolve into 8 different Pokemons. It's kind of unique in that sense. I don't know if there are any other type of Pokemon that can do this. But yeah, they're commonly known as Eeveelutions, because it comes from Eevee. And yeah, the next 3 builds we'll be doing are the first 3 evolutions or Eeveelutions there are. So there is Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon, which are water, electric, and fire type. And then, so that's all in Gen 1. Gen 2 has Espeon and Umbreon. I believe Espeon is Psychic and Umbreon is Dark type. And then in Gen 4 there is Leafeon and Glaceon. Leafeon is a Grass type, Glaceon is an Ice type. And then lastly there is Sylveon, who is a Fairy type. So yeah, it's quite interesting, quite different, quite unique, quite fun. And for this build, I was like, I want to build something that kind of I can point out the other Pokemon a little bit. Now, I wasn't able to spend as long on this build as I wanted to, so my roommates have 2 dogs, and I did mention that they got out the other day, and we're not sure if it's related to them getting out or not. But one of them is actually quite sick at the moment and is has spent overnight at the vet and may spend another night at the vet, we're not sure. So yeah, I've spent a lot of time kind of, I don't want to say distracted, because distracted makes it sound like that's not important, but yeah, my focus has been on the dogs, because in my opinion it's a little bit more important that I make sure that they are okay. From the sounds of it, there is improvement. The dog is doing much better, but yeah, it's I don't really know, because I'm not the one in the contact with the vet, and my roommate, who is actually asleep right now because they've been up all night worrying about the dog and spending half the night at the vet and things like that. So yeah, they're very, very stressed. I'm a little bit stressed as well. I almost thought I wasn't going to get this video out on time, and I was fully committed to that. Like I was fully okay with that. Thankfully I did get it finished in time. It's just, yeah, very unfortunate that the dog is very sick, and I'm yeah, not very happy about that, and a little stressed about it. The other animals are a little bit stressed as well. The 2 dogs that my roommates have are very attached to each other, like to the point where sometimes when they're getting groomed, you have to put them both together. Like, one of them's already been groomed and the other one just sits there so that they don't cry. They're very, very, very attached to each other. But even my cat Macy, she's pretty attached, secretly attached to them. And yeah, this dog who's sick is actually her favourite out of the 2. I say favourite, but like, she tolerates that dog better. So yeah, she's a little upset. She is being a little bit more talkative. I am interpreting that as being like, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. So I explained it to her, and she laid down and went to sleep. So I think she understands. I think she's feeling a bit better. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, we're hoping that the dog will be back tonight. We just have to get word from the vet and you know, what's going on and how's she doing and whatnot. So, yeah, it's been a little bit stressful. It's been a little bit all over the place. And when I did have a minute to come back and finish the build, my computer just pooped itself, like really, really bad. I ended up having to go to the, I think it's control panel, command panel, something, I don't know, I'm not a tech person. It's something that I'm very much not knowledgeable in. I'm very uncertain and unsure, and I had to type in a bunch of things, and then it started working, which is, you know, brilliant and beautiful. So I've definitely saved, I was Googling so many things, and I've saved the page that I looked at. I also took a screenshot of it just to make sure that I didn't lose it. So yeah, everything's back up and running and working and normal again, but yeah, just a little bit stressed at the moment. For sure my roommates are as well, and I'm definitely going to be taking care of them so that, you know, someone needs to look out for them while they're looking out for the dogs. But yeah, I was talking yesterday about, like, I'm going to get finally a good night's sleep, and yeah, no, it didn't happen. I woke up like every 2 hours because of, you know, being stressed and whatnot, and hearing my roommates leaving for the emergency vet and things like that, and coming back and leaving again, and it's been a bit of a stressful time. So yeah, I'm hoping by tomorrow though we'll have some better news, because from what I have heard, from what the emergency vet said to what my roommate said and all that sort of stuff, there's definite improvement. Like, this dog has gone from not wanting to move at all, interact with anyone, you know, not eating anything, to, keep in mind, she's a very barky dog. She'll bark at everything, go off her rocker. I could be walking past the house and she'll bark at me. She just barks at everything. And she has not been moving a muscle when the other dog has gone to start barking. He is not normally one to, but he's been starting it and she just hasn't moved. And apparently, on the way from the emergency vet to the normal vet, she lifted her head and watched a dog walk past, which, I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but the fact that she's up and moving, she is watching things, she's, I don't want to say interacting with the world, but she's doing a lot better. And yeah, the roommate said she perked up a bit as well, and she's had lots of medicine and stuff like that, and they've done blood tests, and they're doing scans and stuff like that, and x-rays, and you know, I can imagine she's very stressed and in a lot of pain, and, you know, I've been trying to keep an eye on her the best I can the last couple of days, but yeah, she's very much in need of some love and attention and care from vets at the moment. So yeah, look, and the vet said it's probably not related to her getting out. It's something unrelated to that, but it just happened at the same time. So yeah, I'm not really sure what the situation is, and all the things that we can think of are things that would have happened a lot quicker. You know, like, if she got bitten by something, that would have happened a lot quicker. Like, the decline would have happened a lot quicker, and so yeah, we're not really sure at the moment. But the good thing is she's at the vet, she's been taken care of, she's definitely perked up a bit, and we will find out tonight whether or not she is going to be going back to the emergency vet, whether she's going to be staying overnight at the vet, or if she can come home. Ultimately hoping she can come home. Like, that would be the best bet, because that means she is, like, all good to go. But if I had to pick another one, it would be staying at the vet and not the emergency vet, because the emergency vet would mean she's still very, very sick, and we don't want that. So yeah, look, it's yeah, I'm a little bit stressed. My roommates are definitely a lot stressed, and it's just not fun. It's really not fun. So yeah, that's, yeah, if you do notice, like, I'm late with a couple of things over the next couple of days, or I am, you know, low energy or stressed or anything like that, that would be why. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can say on that topic. So I will bring us back to the build, which is actually kind of a good timing because we're starting to work on one of the convention rooms, I guess. So the idea I had with this build was that because Eevee can be a bunch of different things, I wanted it to be something that also could be a bunch of different things. I know Ditto was a similar idea, but I wanted that to be like the building itself could transform and be a bunch of different things. You had the comedy room, the karaoke room, and the drag queen show room, which could easily be any sort of performing room, but I set it up as a drag performance room. But I wanted this one to be more like the events that happen here could be different. So I was originally going to set it up with a career day room and a university outreach day room. But yeah, because of everything I just mentioned, I only got to do one of those rooms, so I chose the education room. It probably would have been a little bit easier if I had picked the career over the education, but I had a lot of fun before the whole dog stress, picking out the different careers. So these are in-game careers, in-game study options. So for Leafeon, for the career, I chose I was going to either do conservation or a gardener. I hadn't really picked. I kind of put down a couple of them for some of them because I wasn't sure which one exactly I wanted to do or how easy it would be to make that possible. I wasn't sure how it would be to make a conservation spot for a career table, so I also put down gardener because gardener I could do easier. So I didn't do the careers, I ended up doing the studies. So for Leafeon, which is this first table here, which I actually ended up doing last because I was struggling so much with it, I picked biology, and I ended up just doing sort of like a plant table anyway because there wasn't really many items that I could think of that you could look at and be like, oh yeah, that's I guess biology. But one thing I remember doing in biology for one of my assessments was growing plants. So that's what I ended up doing for that. And if you go to the table to the left of it, so in the middle at the top, that is Flareon. So its career was going to be an athlete, and its study was history. I don't know why history. I honestly could not tell you why history. I think it was just I was really struggling with so many different things that I ended up just picking history. Table number 3 was originally meant to be Vaporeon, but I swapped it with Glaceon. So Glaceon's career was going to be either a romantic consultant or a critic. I don't know, it just felt kind of funny to have an ice type Pokemon, someone who's very if someone's icy, they're not going to be very romantic, and I thought it'd be kind of funny that someone who's really icy is actually really good at putting people together, but also a critic because it kind of makes sense. But they ended up being the drama degree. Again, not really sure why there was. I think it was just one of those things where it was like I think looking at when you study the degree, there's certain things it can be good at. I think the either romance or critic or something like that popped up there. And then if we go back to the middle section, the one on the left is Sylveon. So their career was going to be stylist or social media, and I ended up making their career communications because it kind of makes sense. Like if you're in social media, you're in communications. It's just a little desk with some papers and stuff like that, and it's kind of like how to communicate, I guess. The one in the center of the room is obviously Eevee because this is the Pokemon that we're building. It's got to be right in the center, and I felt like it'd be really good for business. I don't know, it just gave me business vibes, and so the degree I picked was economics, which goes hand in hand with business. And then I said I swapped Glaceon and Vaporeon. So to the right of Eevee is Vaporeon. Its career was going to be a diver or a fisherman, and I chose language and literature. Not really sure why. I think it was just like I needed to pick something and put it in, so I did. Then the bottom left is Espeon, whose career is an astronaut, and physics made sense to go with an astronaut, so I picked physics as the little degree to go with it. Then the front middle is Umbreon. Their career was either going to be military or secret agent, and then I went with psychology for the table. And then, yeah, the bottom right is Jolteon, who is tech guru. I mean, technology runs on electricity. It's an electric type Pokemon. It makes sense. So their degree is computer science. So yeah, that was kind of the idea of it. So like I said before, I didn't do the curry room, so the upstairs room is empty, but that was my idea of going to go through and do that sort of stuff. But yeah, like I said, stress with the dog and trying to take care of it and you know, making sure everything's all good and sorting things out, that kind of was a bit of a priority, and I'm sure you guys understand. So I did just do some like minimal furnishings to kind of finish it off and some landscaping and whatnot. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the build. I don't know, I really enjoyed doing the exterior of it. It was really fun. And I did have a lot of trouble picking things, as you probably saw at the start, but in the end I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, if you guys are looking for a build or cast challenge, it's about to happen. There's a challenge called the A to Z challenge where you do a build and or cast creation based on the letter of the week. If you want to check more out about it, there is a link down in the description. You don't have to participate in every week, but it's one of those things where, yeah, like if you want to participate in a couple of weeks, yeah, you just do a build or cast creation based on that letter, and the only real rules are you don't have to do every week and no CC if you're officially entering. And if you're not officially entering, then it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you want. But yeah, like I said, definitely check out the link down below. It has ideas from previous years that people have done with their names linked if you want to check them out. And it also has the rules and the countdowns and the hashtags and all that sort of stuff. But if there's not any questions you guys have, definitely feel free to put them down in the comments because I am more than happy to answer all of them. And yeah, like I said, there is a timer, a countdown thing, so you'll see the upcoming week and then the week after that, so you can see when those two builds are due, and you can also see the hashtags for them. And the hashtag is pretty much the same for every week, you just change the letter. So yeah, the two hashtags you currently see will be the hashtag for every build, every cast creation that you do, and it will just be, yeah, a little thing that you chuck in there, and I can find it on the gallery, so you don't need to have any social media. But anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to me rant and ramble. If you want to see more stuff like this, make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.